and let us all do we can to build a better future.
So, you know, Dan, there's a little statement here. By the way, no one might know this, but you can't purchase these kind of mugs, and I know FaZe can't zoom in, but this was made by our good friend Jerry Vassilatos. And see, the thing is, it says, you have been blocked by Anna Kasparian, which Hardlands Media has been blocked. That also says you have been blocked by Jank, Fat Tony Uger. You know, I'm drinking this because these are the tears. Because it turns out, Jimmy Dore was right. Jimmy Dore was right.
I thought if you say things in a way that's perceived as uncouth, your point is irrelevant. Is that not the case?
Well, Daniel, unfortunately, was the aftermath of Nina Turner's failure in the 11th Ohio Congressional District, but also with the Democrats' collective failure, because I know everyone's outraged at the GOP. But remember, the fact that right now Roe v. Wade looks like it could be overturned, it isn't just also the Republican Party's fault. The Democrats have had not one, not two, not three, but multiple opportunities to codify Roe v. Wade. There was nothing stopping them. But to what Daniel and I have brought up on the show is that the Democrats, like the Republican Party, like to use these talking points to use as fundraising.
You can't fundraise if it's a safe issue.
Right. So the thing is, the purpose of this episode or this clip is that, number one, Jimmy Dore has every right now to gloat, but he also deserves an apology, and also another person as well, Jaybefaunt from Revolutionary Blackout Network. If you're not following his work, or even the crew members of Revolutionary Blackout Network, please do so, because the thing is, JB was, again, explained by Jordan Sheridan on how this election with Nina Turner's 11th Ohio Congressional District would be something different. And a lot of people came after him. We actually had him on the guest on the show for him to explain what was going on, because people were trying to correct him and say, no, we got to vote Democrat. I want to pull up this video from Case Study QB, which, again, explains everything to what we've been saying for a long time. Number one, Jimmy Dore was right. Number two, the Justice Democrats are always going to be failures. And then number three, it's time to break away from the two-party system. All that talk, especially in 2021, where Cenk Uger and Majority Report and all of TYT were against forced to vote. We had to keep their powder dry because these politicians are our friends. We have to keep their powder dry because, oh, then we could do forced to vote. Oh, wait, the Congressional Progressive Caucus ain't crap. These lawmakers don't give a damn. They don't think about you, they don't like you, they don't respect you. Here, let's play this video from TYT. It's going to be hilarious. Drink the tears.
This was in Congress that Nina Turner was a betrayal. And so, and they betrayed her. Why? Probably because they were largely scared.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, they're not doing it flippantly, and they're not doing it because now they're all of a sudden stuck up, etc. They're doing it because there's, and I know this for a fact, there's significant threats behind the scenes. But you know what? That's when you require courage.
And that's why you're supposed. That's why you were.
There's nothing stopping those, and let's keep the video up because I'm going to tell it to play again. There was nothing stopping AOC or any of the squad members or the Congressional Progressive Caucus from stamping their feet and calling their army to march. Do you think Donald Trump would not tell his followers to form up? What was preventing AOC and the other Democrats progressive Democrats from doing that? They could have done it. They had ample opportunity. They have the legions. They have the legions.
Didn't they literally endorse her opponent for the Progressive Caucus?
Yeah, they did.
They were part of it. They didn't object. And then like AOC, like
at the last minute,
after everyone's already voted, basically
10 hours before the election.
10 hours before, a useless amount of time, is like, I like Nina. And then everyone's like, and it was so crazy to watch everyone like, oh my God, AOC did this thing. It's like, oh, she put out one tweet 10 hours before the election after her caucus endorsed the opponent. Also, I'm not sure if they have it in this video, but Jank did make a point, and I think this might explain a lot. And that is that he said he put his blood, sweat, and tears in Nina's election campaign.
Oh, we'll see.
And it was very big and it was very important to the work he did. I think that might have been the issue because, as we know, every election Jank walks into becomes a catastrophe.
Oh no, but this becomes even hilarious because Jimmy Dore, I hope he's somewhere laughing his ass off. Let's play the rest of this video.
Sent there.
Yeah, and so John makes a great point, and I've got to say this.
Well, what is it, Johnny?
Look,
Pie?
the point of Justice Democrats when we formed it was
when they kicked you out.
To build a brand that was strong, progressive fighters.
They kicked you out.
Together, and they became a squad, right? And then they built on their power by making sure that they were united, and they fought back against the establishment. But if I'm being honest with you, and that's all I ever do, now they're at a point where they're in retreat, and they've lost what it appears to me from the outside, their will to fight. So, yeah, from time to time they'll do fantastic things. Cori Bush on the steps of the Capitol, fighting for people who are homeless. It was wonderful. It's exactly.
Wasn't that when she was fighting because she was late to a bill that?
No.
That's a different one.
Here's what happened. No. You are correct. The story is, at least what AOC and Cori Bush said, was they were on their way out, walking out of the Congress, whoop-de-doo-doo, and then, oh no, they remembered that Nancy Pelosi is going to be adjourning Congress, and they had to run back to Congress, right into the hall, stop Nancy Mama Bear from adjourning Congress, but oh no, they got too late, and then they did a little sit-in, everyone was fine, shout out to Frank Analysis, who actually called them out on their BS, and when they supposedly got their victory, he confronted AOC and Cori Bush and said, wait a minute, people are still being evicted. And what did they do? They started playing music and dancing and all that other stuff. And the thing is, at Jank's point, he's saying he started Justice Democrats, to which we did cover on the show when they got kicked out, him and Kyle. We felt it was wrong. But dude, Justice Democrats, they kicked you out. They abandoned you. You went to bat for people who don't even show up on your goddamn show anymore. It's not they lost their will to fight. It's AOC and that whole crew tweet out things that we agree with, but they're never going to fight for it. They're not going to fight for it. What's AOC going to really do when confronting this thing with Roe v. Wade? I mean, here's the thing. The Democrats played a significant role in dropping the ball. There was nothing stopping Clinton, Obama, or even Biden from actually implementing the needed pressure to codify Roe v. Wade. So the Democrats are just as guilty as the GOP.
So my original point was that he's basically praising them as the strongest moment of Cori Bush was that her and AOC didn't make an essential meeting on time and were very upset about that and still didn't accomplish anything as a result. So Jank's point, again, is literally the best thing that you ever did was screw up and not be able to rectify it. That's the strength that we've come to expect from the Justice Democrats. And it's like, it was so crazy watching the whole Nina Turner thing. It's like, we're watching people that are, I think, very, very confident that if she gets elected, she's going to be on the show. So it is a little bit of access journalism. That's just my take. And they were chewing out the people who ended up being right. We got it right. How did we get it right? Well, we understood the calculus of what it means to run as a Democrat. We understand the primary system. We understand what was going to happen. And we understand that they wanted someone other than Nina Turner. We also understood that the progressive movement in Congress is dead, and they weren't going to fight for this anyway. And so when we would say, this seems like she's very much not going to win, and putting all this effort into a campaign like this, in a system like this, with people like this, may not be a thing that everyone should have to do. It should be one, if you believe in Nina Turner, go and do it. But you can't just tell people that they're bad or terrible or insert word here because they didn't do a thing, because those people were right from the beginning that she wasn't going to win.
Let's pull up this next. Let's pull up the rest of it. And it's hilarious. Let's play a little bit more of it.
Well, we built Justice Democrats for AOC when she did the original sit-in in Nancy Pelosi's office. But in this case, AOC, I mean, to her half credit, came out in the last 24 hours and endorsed Nina Turner.
Jank.
Is that a little too late? Of course it is. But at least she did it for whatever it's worth, right?
But she could have been rallying. She could have been giving
Of course, guys. Why?
Wait, pause that.
Behind the scene.
That sounds like violence, because that's exactly what we've been saying for years. And because remember, what people say, especially politicians, really doesn't mean anything or count for anything or really even exist, if we're being real honest. It's the actions and track record is the only thing you can really drop on, and who donates to their campaign.
Play the rest of it.
Democratic leadership is intimidating the living crap out of them, okay? I know it for a fact. So I'm not saying that all of them aren't in a tough spot. They are in a tough spot. But that's when you gotta stick together and fight. And why did I back Nina Turner so much? Why did I put everything into Nina Turner? Why did you guys put everything into Nina Turner? Because in Nina, we see a fighter.
You told people to spend their money on a Democratic politician who won't do crap.
And I'm with Nina when she's up, and I'm with Nina when she's down. Why? Because she's true. So now, ironically, look at us. Look at how disciplined and principled we are. Because we supported the Just Democrats when
they are being principled, just in a really unprincipled manner.
So I know for sure that they were non-existent. I created it, and everybody can catch feelings all they like. I put it together. I named it. There's no question. Okay.
Yeah,
but it's not just me. There were wonderful people there. Shaikat Chakrabarti, almost single-handedly.
Okay, I gotta pause it again.
Single-handedly is too.
Okay, I'm gonna summarize Cenks Point again. I like the person who's being elected. I think they'll make me look good if they become elected. I can then point to them and take credit for the stuff that they do. I can have them on the show, and that's why I'm fighting for them. Because he's not saying Nina Turner will do this. Nina Turner will fight in this way. Nina Turner will act in this way. He's saying, I like her. I'm involved in her campaign. I put all this effort in. You guys put money in because I asked you to. And what did she do? She lost by 40 point difference, and the last time that she ran was like a 5-point difference. So again, I'll make this point again. If you want to destroy a progressive campaign, get Cenk Uygur on it.
Yeah, pretty much. He is a virus. Let's play the rest.
But I gotta say though, this might be his best campaign yet. Previously, he lost by 98 points, and then lost in another race that he was running that he was actually in by 98 points. And this time he only lost by around 40.
Okay. All right. I'll give him that. Let's play a little bit more of the video.
Much, but he was so critical. And Corbin Trent so critical in helping AOC win her election. And where are they? They're not in Congress anymore. They've been removed. So no, you can't say I don't want to be with the people that brought me. So when they were down, when every one of them was down, we were there for them. And more importantly,
and now they're up.
More importantly, you were there for them.
Cenk who?
Right?
Humanist Report
but
who?
Now when they're
Majority
up,
Report
right?
who?
And they're fancy Congress people, etc.
Edward goes tweet and Al goes
like
who?
If we were ass kissers, if all we cared about was what everybody else in Washington cared about, power, all power, I'd be telling you, oh my God, they're amazing, they're the best, because they're now up, and they're celebrities, they're famous.
They're going to Met Gala events, Cenk,
no,
I know.
This is when I'm most down on them. I haven't given up, but man, they got to prove something, and they haven't proved anything. And so, yeah, and by the way, if they're watching this and you catch feelings that I said you didn't stick together and you didn't have courage to fight back,
all right, enough. Let's end this
video. He's going real hard on the squad.
I know.
Like, you could have done more.
You could have done more. I
still support you.
But don't worry. See, Jank right now, again, because this is quote unquote being tough on the Democratic progressives, he still has time to go after Hardland Media, Jimmy Dore, Revolution Blackout Network. Let's pull up this little tweet from Cenk Uygur, where he tweeted this out. Like a little tweet.
And he used that whistle too?
Yeah, he did it. Yeah, I know, like this little tweet. So let's go ahead and pull that up here right here. For all the quote-unquote progressives.
Remember, Jank has earned the right to define what a progressive is
in
a free country, so that's just how it is.
For all the progressives who left Nina Turner on the battlefield alone, do you feel proud? Do you think you were politically savvy? Do you think the establishment likes you now? Good luck with your new friends.
Isn't it funny that, like, again, that's like our thing is we try to like we focus on like the building aspect and the actual procedure aspect and the accomplishment aspect. Like, like in the last aldermanic election in Chicago, our interviews, getting people volunteers in key points, really thought out, caused 6 people to get elected into Chicago. That's over 10% of the seats.
Yeah.
And the person who didn't do any interviews with us or anything else, he lost.
Yeah, it was a tight race too.
yeah, it's like we would have probably made the deciding factor at that point, the way the company was set up back then. But you know what we do? We talk about, generally speaking, we talk and think about the people that we got elected. How can we do better? How can we make it more efficient? What we don't do is we don't call out over and over again the campaign of the people that lost or the people that didn't support him. What Jank is doing in that clip there is saying, I don't really take responsibility for this loss. It's you, the voter. It's your fault that she lost.
Now, I want to acknowledge someone who's actually in the live stream chat when this is clipped as well, but Jaybefaunt is in the live stream chat. Everyone give him a mandatory thumbs up right now because JB has every right to dance and sing and enjoy the rest of the day. In fact, I hope you've been having a very, very, very good day because I want to pull up this tweet because we interviewed him about this tweet when he was on our show. Let's actually get that set up right here. Nina Turner is going to lose. Not because I want her to. That's very clear what he's saying there, right? Not because I want her to. Because the reality is that she's running in a party where they don't even want any true centrists to gain power. Then many of you will blame us on the left for her loss. We need to look inward instead.
It's hard for Jank to go, the last 8 years of what I've been trying to build politically was a scam. It's hard to say. So I would appreciate, by the way, I would have a bit of respect for Jank if he came out and admitted that everything he's been doing since Trump got elected has been detrimental to his original stated goal.
Yep. And so the thing is, people like Jordan Sheridan and a few others were trying to correct.
I have a comment from Ware Pilgrim on Jordan Sheridan. He said that Jordan Sheridan said he reached out to us for an interview during a live stream today.
Really?
While they were reading the super chats.
Wait. For Hard Lens Media?
I don't know. I'm just reading.
Ware Pilgrim, you're gonna if you're on our Discord, I'm gonna ask you to do this right now. Send me a screenshot of that or any kind of video proof. If there is something like that, okay, fine. Okay, fine.
Unless, I don't know, maybe in the last 10 hours, because it's such an important time, he sent something. He has not.
Yeah, we haven't gotten any messages at all. I am in charge of a lot of direct messaging. I know Daniel sometimes gets messages too that are meant for me. So if that's the case, Ware Pilgrim, I'm going to need to see some proof of that. But I want to pull up somebody else here too.
Because if it's proved and you can show us that, yeah, he is.
Oh, no, Jaybefaunt to be precise. That's who you're talking to. Okay, you're talking to JB. You're talking about Jaybefaunt. Okay. Thank you for the clarification in the live stream.
We're like, that's not, that's
okay.
Not how
thank you. All right. So let's pull up this other tweet from Chicago's very own Jimmy Dore, who's #1. FYI, for your information, for those who don't know what that means, the Congressional Progressive Caucus doesn't want you in Congress, but I appreciate you have to pretend the Democrats are somehow on the side of the people instead of what they really are. Pro-war, pro-Wall Street, anti-worker party, and that you still want progressives to support. And he did this towards Nina Turner. Now, the thing is, we can't show that tweet, and I want to be very clear. I want to show that because apparently Nina Turner blocked Jimmy Dore. Nina Turner, who's been on the Jimmy Dore show, not once, but numerous times. And
we've been in interviews with her.
Yeah, we've interviewed her 3 times as well. But again, I find it interesting she blocked him. Look, he didn't say anything really offensive. And look, in Jimmy's defense, that is shockingly tame on Jimmy's part.
Or as Jank might call it, violent.
Yeah. So there we go. Lee Lewis Troy. Oh, you're funny. I read your live stream chat. You're funny, but I also want to pull up this tweet from Jimmy Dore as well. Again, where he's kind of messaging back at Jordan. All right. So interesting that Nina Turner was the keynote speaker for that third-party convention less than 2 years ago. Also interesting when journalists get triggered by accurate criticism of their favorite politician and then make nonsensical arguments to defend them. And what is he talking about? Well, there's a little tweet of Jordan saying, interesting that Jimmy talks about people pretending when for 5 years he's pushed his massive audience to support a third party with no candidates, ballot access, state parties fleeing from national and response to volunteer criticism is Dem operatives. And so that was his response to that Jimmy Dore tweet that he gave towards Nina Turner, but which I have to say, Jordan, Jank, Majority Report, Humanist Report, Rational National,
everyone that
all these people
connected to TYT in some way.
All these people who were, yelling at Jimmy Dore and other progressives saying, no, we got to vote blue. We got to push Biden to the left and we'll make it happen. Turns out Jimmy Dore was right. Jaybefaunt was right. Revolutionary Blackout Network was right. Hardlands Media was right. Mikasu Casa, Convo Couch, Slow News Day, Frank Analysis, Jackson Hinkle, everyone at RT America. I mean, at this point, there is no debate anymore.
And that's the other
There's no debate.
That's the other thing about this whole thing that gets me is that they don't understand. They think that it's like, oh, you're trying to grift. I think they're projecting. I think that's a lot of projection that they're dealing with right now and what they're adding to. But they're getting upset at Jimmy for accurately seeing the landscape. They're getting upset at us for accurately seeing the landscape. When they had copium. Their thing was copium. They had a copium landscape that they were hoping they could manifest into reality. And when they couldn't, and they realized that they couldn't, and TYT and Jordan and everyone else realized they couldn't, what did they do? They just proved everyone right again because Jimmy was right, and we've said similar things as well, because they're predictable. They're just really predictable. If they got Nina Turner elected, or in their minds, they got Nina Turner elected at least, you know what they would have done? They would have stuck their thumb in our faces and said, told you, you were wrong, blah, blah, blah. And then we would watch nothing happen with Nina Turner over her election. And they'd go, she's trying. She is trying. She is trying. I do hope she comes on our show at some point. We did help her get elected. And, but instead, now that they've lost, what are they doing? They're sticking their thumb in everyone's faces that disagreed with them and said, it's your fault. Your fault, which, by the way, if there's an implication I'm going to pull from that as my last point, if it's all our fault, doesn't that mean we're more powerful and relevant than they are? Because if they were, in fact, more powerful than us, they could have overcome the faults that we were throwing at them. But if they couldn't, then I guess we have the actual power. Because, by the way, remember what we've said about with strategically voting and all those other things that they hate? Mm-hmm. It turns out that if they are thumbing they're thumbing at us right now, they're admitting our strategy works because they're saying that our votes could have made the difference if we had voted. But our point is still about voting. Vote strategically. Don't just vote for the party. Mm-hmm. So to everyone listening to Jordan or TYT and everything, they're just proving our argument right. And they're just proving that it turns out withholding your vote, by the way, not everyone lives in Ohio. I also want to throw that out there, is power.
Yeah, there we go. Hard to really follow up. So look, and note I want to say, Jaybefaunt, I hope you're enjoying your victory. And I hope that once again, you keep speaking truth to power. Jimmy Dore from Chicago was right. All the real independent media networks were right. It's time to break away from the two-party system.